Hi friends and fellow flute enthusiasts, thanks for tuning in to Jonny's Flute Reviews. I'm Jonny Lipford, and since 2002 I've dedicated myself to everything flute. I teach, perform, and record full-time with the Native American Flute. I post videos here on YouTube covering flute tips, tutorials, original songs, and cover songs to showcase how versatile the Native American flute is. If you're new here and interested in becoming a more emotive flute player, or you just love listening to the sounds of the Native American flute, be sure you subscribe and hit that little bell so you're notified every time a new video drops. Now, let's dive into a flute from my personal collection. Welcome back. In this episode, we're going to be looking at a flute made by Randy Stenzel of Feather Ridge Flutes. Now, this is a very large flute. It's made from sycamore, and it's in the key of low B flat minor or A sharp minor. And the block here is made from walnut. Now, Randy passed away a couple of years ago and is no longer with us. He left us though with his legacy of flutes. So if you own a Feather Ridge flute, you have something very special. And I have a few of his flutes as well. This is one that I actually got from him on the way to the studio. I said, hey, do you have a B flat minor? I'm headed into the studio and I don't have this key. Can I just borrow it from you and return it when I'm finished? And he said, absolutely. And what ended up happening was I kind of fell in love with this flute. And so now it's a part of my collection. I've done several recordings with this flute. Lastly, or I guess lately, a song on Migration, a CD that came out in May of 2019. So I'd like to share a little bit with this flute in a very acoustic environment. Here's what it sounds like. Just love the sound of this flute. Bass flutes in general are pretty mellow. This one is just really smooth, mellow. The voice is really clear. I can be dynamic with my volume to really portray that emotion in what I'm playing. And it also hits those high notes of the upper register, or in the upper register, the second register of the flute, pretty easily and smoothly. They don't feel very forced, which on a bass flute, some of those upper register notes can be a little hard to find or really unstable. And Randy's done a really great job with this flute. I like too that the finger holes are relatively close together for such a bass flute. A lot of times on bass flutes, you'll find that the finger holes are ergonomically positioned, so they come over to the side like this, and that works for some people. But as you know, our fingers are different lengths, and so it can work for some and not for others. But this is a flute that I really enjoy from my collection. So I'm curious if you have any bass flutes in your collection, and if you do, I have a very helpful video for you here on YouTube called, I think it's just tips for playing bass flutes. I'll make sure to put a little card up top here to link you over to that video. But before you go there, be sure you subscribe and hit that little bell so you're notified when more flute reviews, cover songs, and original songs and tutorials hit YouTube. In the description below, you'll find some helpful links for your flute journey, as well as some gear that I recommend for live performance. So stay tuned as we uncover more flutes from my collection. We have several more to look at. Thanks so much.